Thanks, Marion. Decision making. Decision making. Well, when you move to new area and you move from, say, you live there for a long time, when you move, well, you would need find some GP, good GP, family doctor. You might need a new hairdresser. You like to find out where you get to the fresh vegetable, good meat, and so on. And since we moved up in north, I believe we have found good family doctor, and he has been very good. We know where finding the way around. I know got new hairdresser, and also, so we are sort of settling in. Well, I haven't found good car mechanic, reliable car mechanic, and that you want to find good relationship with this person. Well, about June last year, which is about more than 8 months, 7 months, one of my cars, that's our original car window stopped working, and that's my car picture, and the window just doesn't come down. It just stuck there. Well, so I Googled it because you gotta have it fixed. I found a good mechanic, I believe, and one in Waitara. I brought my car in. He checked my car, he went inside, and he said, if you get, that's a Honda, the genuine part, that would cost about $700. If you get the second hand, that's about half, $300, $350. And this car is about 12 years old. I don't want a brand new part there. And he said he will order that. He would ring me when he get this part delivered. I came home and he rang me, straight after he rang me saying, oh, he didn't get the exact part of this car, exact the model number. And I was thinking, he was just with me. He didn't get a photo of that or get the part. And he asked me, take a picture of this, the window, the part, and full body of my photo. Maybe that's the point I should make my decision. That I felt I wasn't feeling convinced. But I just went on, took a photo and sent him because I didn't want to have a time. I don't want to make a booking and bring the car in another car service. And then it took me nearly 2 months to have the car window fixed. I had to go back to him actually 4 times. And he did receive the part. He fixed it. Window was working. On the way back home, actually it stopped. It didn't open again. I rang him. What's happening? And he did get another part, and he have it fixed. But this is not the end of the story. And then I meant to sell this car, and my father, his old car, he stopped working, and I let my dad use that car while whether they want new car or not, because they don't use the car nearly at all. And I know that this car has been sitting there garage nearly 2 months. And he rang me all of a sudden saying, window's not opening. And then I got the car back. I brought the car back to this gentleman. This time he's saying, because this last time left car window part fixed. He's saying the main the part must be fixed again. And maybe that's another time I should ask him firmly, but I didn't because he found out I'm the church minister in a local Uniting church. And some of you know the story. Then he got the part, I brought the bag, and this time he didn't get the right part, and I came home. It ended up about 9 times I went to visit and finally have that window fixed. And in one time, it came down and stopped. It didn't go up. And poor Ine was driving that car that stage. And one of the Sunday, you might have seen she opened the window, two umbrella from inside. I'm not getting. Anyway, I'm thinking about this, my decision. Have I missed that opportunity to say no to him? Have I missed that time to say firmly that I want my money back? I ended up paying much more than getting the new part. I'm hoping it's not happening again, but it is one of those things, thinking about my decision. Have I done something wrong? Have I missed the right time to make right decision? Well, in our Bible reading today, we have these many different characters. And in their own way, they all make their decisions. They make choices. And their decision making makes a difference in their lives. And it actually influencing the people around them, the lives of all people around them, and their decision even affecting, influencing us even today. Jesus and his disciples are on the road again. He is walking fast. He's walking fast ahead of everyone. Perhaps he was troubled by the feeling of anxiety and fear. They are now in town called Bethsaida. Bethsaida, you may remember the pool of Bethsaida. It is only about 2 kilometers away from Jerusalem. You may see that town name there, which means they are very close to Jerusalem. Perhaps this proximity, closeness to Jerusalem might have made Jesus' heart more anxious because his time is coming. He was also anxious in a way. So much so that he starts talking about his death again. But all he gets is silly questions from his closest friend. This time from James and John. And it is a flashback to what had happened not long ago. Jesus asks what it is that they want, and they say, grant us to sit, one at the right hand, one at your left in your glory. Disciples are relentless in their self-centeredness. Here Jesus is talking about a violent death, and all they could think about was their place in heaven, saying, well, if you are dying, can we sit next to you when we die too? And we find it interesting. I found it interesting how disciples are just like you and me. We are all self-centeredness like them. Many times, we are all about our own recognition, about our honor and our entitlement. Like the disciples, we keep repeating same things that divide us, that destroy us, that break us. And it seems Jesus cannot believe what they are asking. He says to them, you do not know what you are asking. And he asks, are you able to drink the cup that I drink, or be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? And it is something like he's saying, you want to go to heaven, but can you go through the hell first? And yet they say, yes, we can. They say, yes, we can, without the hesitation. And Jesus turns to them and saying, great, you will do that. However, to sit at my right hand or at my left is not mine to grant, but it is for those whom it has been prepared. Again, the measure of Jesus' life is servitude. This is the new word that I learned. The ability to live the inside faith so vividly that it will be outward sign of God's love, grace, compassion, to serve. Serving is the key to understand Jesus' life and ministry. Life given to a community, care of people in need, service to those in pain and sorrow, the deep care for the land, animals, plants, river, and the earth. That is all what makes one's life with Him. So what about decision making of James and John in our first narrative? They were blinded by their instant reward, instant recognition. They completely missed the opportunity. Opportunity acknowledged the idea of whoever wants to be the first must be servant of all. And they missing this decision to serve others, not to be served. And decision making becomes even more important in our second story. This location is Jericho, the city of Jericho. And Jericho is a place of decision. This is a place of decision. Well, we all remember the destruction of the city of Jericho in the Old Testament. Joshua and his army marched around Jericho city for 7 days. Then a strong wall of Jericho collapsed. Then it having been rebuilt, it was then destroyed again second time, the Babylons around 950. Again, it was rebuilt around the time of Nehemiah, and it was this town that Bartimaeus, this blind man, met Jesus in our reading this morning. And you may remember Zacchaeus, this tax collector, climbed up to the tree. His story happening in city of Jericho as well. So when you spot the name of city Jericho in the Bible, I want you would want to expect to read something remarkable, things happening in this reading, city of Jericho. Blind man Bartimaeus existed on the charity of others. He would always be dutifully grateful to ensure the next time the visitor came, they would donate again. And to offend them, to be offending them was to go hungry and risking a kicking. So when Jesus of Nazareth came into the town, not only was there opportunity to capitalize financially, but there was also chance to see the miracle happening for himself. But it meant a taking a risk for him. Bartimaeus could either stay quiet, let the town enjoy the visit by Jesus, this new miracle worker, and pick up the donation. He had this choice. Or he could start making a noise, risk upsetting regular givers by shouting to attract the attention of the man who might just restore his sight. Which option would you choose? Which option would you choose? Safe option that he did not risk the income and the friends that he had. Dangerous option that could ensure you got far less income but put you in front of the greatest miracle worker that Israel had ever seen. Now Bartimaeus started shouting. Locals asked, then demanding him. He kept quiet. Bartimaeus shouted all the more. Then two arms caught him up, and the voice came to him. What do you want me to do for you? What do you want from me? I want to be able to see again. I want to see again, said Bartimaeus, and we know the rest of the story as a history. We know the rest as a history, but it was never a history for this man. Jesus transformed his life. And from this chapter 10, Jesus himself also has this big decision to make. He is on the road to Jerusalem, place where he knows he will confront his accusers, he will face death. And this encounter with Bartimaeus in our reading, this is the last narrative before this dramatic entry into the Holy City we will remember on Palm Sunday. Jericho is a strange place that no longer exists except in story on the map. But it had another set of questions to offer. For Jesus, who now was nearing the end of his earthly ministry after 3 years with his friends, there was a big decision to make that would change the course of his life and the course of our life. But it was a real choice for him to make this city of Jericho. Andy Campbell, he makes great description of just this Jesus' decision at this point of his ministry, and I once talked about this briefly before. This city Jericho sat in the valley just over the Dead Sea. if Jesus took southern road down to the Dead Sea coast. There is Dead Sea coast. If he took that route, he would come to a place that would welcome him, place that understand him, that accept him for his. This was where the Essenes, people called Essenes, dwelt. The Essenes were one of the four pillars of Judaism. Four pillars. We say Pharisees, Sadducees, Zealots, they are the movement guys, and the Essenes, they are the four pillars of Judaism. And they are famous with contemporary biblical discovery, Dead Sea Scroll. Dead Sea Scroll from these people as Essenes. This is product of them. They are spiritually aware people, sometimes hermits or mystics. They are the scholars of Scripture. Up in south, there was a place of safety for Jesus. If Jesus took road to north, it would lead him home to Galilee. Galilee up to side of River Jordan. It is home. There were friends, people who knew him from the childhood, far away from the glare of publicity, where Jesus could practice carpentry here again. Taking the way to east would have allowed Jesus to make a new life for himself across the wilderness. This is way into the wilderness. And he could keep going by saying it was a kind of outreach project of Israel. And this is outreach who have not heard the God of Israel. He could go east in the search of those wise men who had brought him the gifts when he was born. Now the west lay Jerusalem. West leading him to this city of destiny. West was the temple, the politics of Rome. West was the religious center and the controversy. West was the chaos, the cross. And he knew it. He exactly knew it. So would you have chosen to go west? There are different choices, different route, path that you will choose. Would you have chosen to go west? It was a real choice, and he had it. He had it in his power to choose. And we knew that. We learned that he chose to go west. Well, Jericho is place of decision. In today's reading, we are in Jericho with Bartimaeus. We are in Jericho with Jesus. What decision do you feel like you want to make this day? Which path, which route, which direction would you choose to walk? Well, disciples still do not get the message. James and John are one of the closest friends to their leaders, and their mindset, their decision making still rely on their own interest, their own desires. On the other hand, Bartimaeus, marginalized blind man, displays an enormous faith, and he makes the right decision at the right time. Jesus was also able to make any decision he wanted. But he did not forget. He did not forget his vocation. He did not forget why he was sent to this world, and continues his walk towards Jerusalem. What about your journey to the cross? Last week, we removed all the things stopping us walking to the cross. We removed that. We can see cross clearly now. So will you continue to walk towards cross with Jesus this season? Will you continue to make a decision to follow him and to be the servant for others? Will you? Will you? Amen.